launched state's revitalization and rejuvenation process. Social welfare. In order to provide minimum security of livelihoods to the poor, my government had given top priority to welfare sector with lot of concern on humanitarian considerations. The welfare program are being designed and implemented with utmost humanitarian perspective by the Telangana government to give security to the lives and livelihood of the poor. To bring more number of poor people under the umbrella of below poverty line, the BPL, the maximum income limit has been increased from rupees 60,000 to 1,50,000 in rural areas, and in urban areas it was increased from 75,000 to 2 lakh rupees. Within this, even those working in the government and private companies with lesser salaries are able to derive benefits from the welfare schemes. With the amount of rupees 2016 per month given as Asara pension, the poor are able to live happily without depending on anyone. My government has increased pension for pensioners with disability from rupees 500 to 3016. Though there are lakhs of BD workers in the country, the pension are given to BD workers at rupees 2016 per month in Telangana state only. Similarly, for the first time in the country, single women, persons suffering with filaria are also given Asara pensions. Let me share a happy news with you all that my government has also decided to reduce the age limit for the old age pension from 65 years to 57 years. Very soon, all the eligible persons who attain the age of 57 years will be given Asara pension in the state. Under Kalyana Lakshmi, Shadi Mubarak schemes, my government is giving 1,116 rupees towards expenses for the eligible girls' marriage. Earlier, though through fair price shops, ration shops, only 4 kgs rice was given per person with a ceiling. Now, 6 kgs of rice per person is given without ceiling on number of persons in the household at the rate of rupees 1 per kg. In the government schools, hostels, students are served meal with fine rice. My government is running 959 residential schools with the highest standards of teaching. This is not being done anywhere in the country so far. KCR Kids schemes is being implemented to encourage safe and institutional deliveries in the government hospitals. My government has abolished transport tax on the tractors used by the farmers and autos run by the youth for self-employment. A special development fund was created for the development and progress of the SC, ST sections. Allocations were made in the state budget in the proportion to their population ratio. To revive, revitalize, and to strengthen the rural economy, my government gave the required financial stimulus to the hereditary professionals and artisans. Sheeps were distributed on large scale for the Golla, Kuruma communities at 75% subsidy. Fishermen were given rights to fishing in reservoirs in the state, and my government has distributed free fish seedlings and dropped them into the reservoirs. Tax on palm trees is abolished. By purchasing cloth, uniforms and saris from the handloom weavers, my government has created market for their products. The input cost came down for the weavers as the government is giving 50% subsidy on the yarn, chemicals and colors. My government is giving financial assistance to the Nai Brahmins and the washermen to set up modern saloons, purchase modern machines, washing machines respectively. My government had set up the most backward classes corporation for the benefit of nomads and most backward classes. My government had allotted sites in Hyderabad to several BC communities to construct their respective community homes to uphold their self-respect. For the Telangana martyrs, my government gave rupees 10 lakh ex gratia amount and one job for each family. My government is extending rupees 6 lakh financial help to the families of farmers who have committed suicide. Rupees 6 lakh ex gratia amount is being paid to the families of toddy tappers, fishermen who lost their lives due to accidents. Rupees 5 lakh compensation is being given to families of the persons who lost their lives in natural calamities such as heavy rains, floods, etc. Rupees 6 lakh to the families of the persons who died during the lightning. My government has extended rupees 2 lakh per person who were dependent on illicit liquor trade earlier and now switched to alternate employment. Nutritious meal is given to pregnant women in postnatal period and babies at Anganwadi centers under Arogya Lakshmi scheme. My government regularized up to 125 square yards of land occupied by the poor free of cost for their dwelling units. Pattas were distributed to 1.25 lakh persons under regularization scheme as per GO number 58. Rupees 5 lakh insurance scheme is being implemented by my government for drivers, home guards, working journalists, and government is paying the premium for this scheme. A special fund is created for welfare of lawyers and journalists. Brahmin Sakshema Parishad was formed for the welfare of poor Brahmins. Priests in the temples were given salaries regularly on par with the government employees under Duba Diba Naivedyam scheme. Imams and Muezzins who conduct prayers in masjids were given rupees 500 per month as allowance. What's that? Was given 5,000 per month as allowance. My government is given financial assistance to the poor youth with 100% subsidy up to 50,000 without any linkage from the banks, with 80% subsidy for the loans up to 1 lakh, with 70% subsidy for the loans up to 2 lakhs, and with 60% subsidy for the loans up to 5 lakh for providing self-employment. Power up to 101 units is given free of cost to SCs and STs. My government had waived rupees 70 crore worth power dues of STs under the domestic category. All the power-related vigilance cases registered against the tribes were withdrawn. Hairdressing saloons are supplied power under domestic category. My government is giving scholarship up to 20 lakh each to SC, ST, BC and minority students to pursue higher education abroad under the names of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Mahatma Jyotirao Phule. My government hiked the salaries of home guards, Anganwadi teachers, helpers, ASHA workers, IKP, Narega employees, 108 staff, 104 staff, contract and outsourcing employees, VRAs, VAOs, contract lecturers, CRTs and Archakas apart from increasing the commission of ration dealers. 33% reservation provided in the police department for women. The highest remuneration in the country is being paid to the home guards serving in the state. Traffic police are paid 30% risk allowance. The compensation paid for the police who were martyred while on duty is increased manifold. My government released 28% of profits to the Singaneri workers as bonus. The retirement age for RTC employees has been increased to 60 years. Services of 22,667 artisans working in electricity organizations have been regularized by my government. In the welfare sector, Telangana state stands first among all other states in the country. It is a good augury that the poor in the state are moving forward to future with lot of hope and confidence. Successes in power sector. My government acted swiftly and strategically to overcome the crisis prevailing in the power sector. As a result, Telangana state registered spectacular and unprecedented accomplishment in power sector. Today, Telangana has become the state that utilizes highest per capita power in the country. The peak demand in the United Andhra Pradesh stood at 13,162 megawatts, where as in Telangana, it crossed that figure and the demand reached an all-time high of 13,168 megawatts. In spite of all-time high demand, power supply was supplied without any interruption, and this itself an evidentiary tall proof of our glorious success in power sector. Now, uninterrupted quality power is supplied 24/7 hours for all sectors in the state. I feel proud to declare that Telangana state is one and the only state in the country which is supplying free 24/7 high quality power to its farm sector. The installed capacity at the time of formation of the state was only 7,778 megawatts, whereas the installed capacity now in the state is 16,246 megawatts. Construction of new power plants in the fast track to make Telangana a power surplus state. Progress in agriculture sector. Majority of the people in the state are dependent on agriculture. Owing to the negligent, indifferent attitude and lack of policy of the erstwhile rulers, the farm sector was nudged into terrible crisis. My government made every step forward with proper planning to pull up the farm sector from the crisis and instill confidence and hope among the farmers. My government is supplying quality seeds, fertilizers and pesticides on time to the farmers as per their requirements. Stringent action is being taken under the Preventive Detention Act (PD) Act against those indulging in supply of spurious seeds, adulterated fertilizers and fake pesticides. Within 24 hours, with 24-hour uninterrupted power supply, farmers are able to bring their entire land under cultivation and deriving high crop yielding. Irrigation sector construction of projects. My government, with an aim to provide water for irrigation to 1 crore acres, prepared and implementing a comprehensive irrigation plan. Water is supplied to 20 lakh acres of the Ayakat by completing the pending projects. Tanks are revived under Mission Kakatiya program. Due to this, the groundwater levels have been raised enormously. The world's largest multi-stage lift irrigation project, Kalishwaram, is under stage-wise completion. The fast-track works that are going on there are visible to all. The work of the Kalishwaram project shall be completed in toto shortly. Works are going on fast track to lift 3 TMC of water per day from Godavari to Kalishwaram from the ensuing monsoon season. Works on Palumur Rangareddy project are on fast track. Sammakka barrage works aimed at supplying water to Devadula for 365 days and are also on fast track. My government is making all-out efforts to complete works on this barrage in this summer itself. My government has sanctioned Sitama Sagar barrage with about 40 TMC capacity, which is capable of producing 320 megawatts tidal power and also supply water to Sitarama project in the existing place in the present Dummukudam Anikat. I am happily announcing that the works on this barrage will commence shortly. The ample proof that the Telangana irrigation sector has progressed extremely well in the marvelous achievement in the increased acreage of the paddy cultivation in the summer crop. In the normal course, the paddy crop area growing during the summer season in Telangana is 17,08,397 acres. Owing to the progress made in the irrigation sector During this summer season, the paddy crop was grown in 38,19,419 acres as recorded by Agriculture Department. 123.5% increase in the paddy cultivation is the symbol of success in irrigation sector. Raitu Bandhu for investment support. The Raitu Bandhu scheme, conceived and implemented in Telangana, is now being replicated in several states as it has been progressive turning point that changes the destiny of farmers. Now, through Raitu Bandhu, my government is giving 10,000 per acre per year in 2 installments as investment support. The scheme has now become a role model not only for the entire country but also to the entire world. The greatest appreciation for Raitu Bandhu scheme came from the United Nations, which declared it as one of the major schemes being implemented for the development of agriculture in the world. This is really a moment of pride for us. Raitu Bima. The government introduced Raitu Bima scheme, which is not in existence in any other state in the country. Under this scheme, if a farmer dies for any reason, my government is paying rupees 5 lakh to the family within 10 days. To strengthen the agriculture department, my government